If these progressives are not stopped, then the United States as we know it today is going to disappear. And that's not hyperbole. That's not Trump's a Nazi. That's not propaganda. That is absolute fact. These progressives, and we're going to tell you tonight exactly how they are making inroads. But first, the Republican debate. Did you see it last night? That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So, News Nation, I think, is a worthy enterprise. I know I'm prejudiced because they use my commentary, but I think it's on the right track. So they had the fourth debate, which is a coup. The fourth debate featured 4 Republicans, so it was more contained. It was the best debate, in my opinion. Again, I work for News Nation. I don't really work for them. It's more of an alliance. There's nobody telling me what to do. That'll never happen again in my lifetime. And they set the debate up in Alabama, and there were 3 moderators, very professional. I thought all 3 ladies did a nice job. I didn't think that Christie and Ramaswamy should have been on the stage because they don't have any chance. And their numbers, the poll numbers are really not, they could have easily been told, look, you're just not polling as high. And you could have had the 2 that are, Haley and DeSantis. I think it would have been a better debate, but Ramaswamy, obviously, bomb thrower, livened things up, and we'll get into it. So I came on after the debate with my no-spin analysis. Go. Now, the winner of the debate, and I knew you were going to ask, was DeSantis. And the reason is that DeSantis tapped into the emotion that Republican voters are feeling when he went after the border and said, I would use violence against these cartel members. The border is the most emotional issue for Republicans. The economy is second. But the appalling state of the southern border, today was a record number of migrants crossing. DeSantis was right on it. He won the debate because he was able to run down in Florida how he took on the progressive left and won. Haley came across as an establishment figure, okay? She's distant. She's not a culture warrior. She acquits herself well, very intelligent, could run the country, certainly could beat Joe Biden. No doubt in my mind that if it were Nikki Haley against Joe Biden, Haley would win probably in a landslide. But for Republican voters, she doesn't have the verve, the emotion to right the wrongs, which is Trump's trait. He's the warrior. He's going to clean it up. Christie and Ramaswamy should not have been in the debate. It's not News Nation's fault. The Republican National Committee chooses. They have no chance. They're not going to surge. They took up airtime. Okay, so that's pretty much what it was. And just to back up my assertion, we have a new Trafalgar poll out of Iowa, which is, of course, the first vote coming up very quickly in January. So the question is, if the Republican caucus were held tomorrow, who would you support? Donald Trump, 45, DeSantis, 22, Nikki Haley, 19, Ramaswamy, 5, Christie, 4. So look, Trump is going to win Iowa, but DeSantis is putting all of his chips there. So I think DeSantis may show well. And Haley, too. I mean, there are a lot of Republicans who don't want Trump because he causes too much chaos. As simple as that. It's a very simple thing. I don't think you're going to find any Republicans in this country that would say in the 4 years Donald Trump was president, he didn't run the country efficiently. I don't know of any Republican who would say that, particularly because the Supreme Court justices that he selected are saving the country right now. We'll get into that a little bit later. But the chaos that Donald Trump brings puts off a lot of voters. All right, I'm not going to defend the chaos. I wish he didn't do that. I know he has to do some of it, but I would much rather see him run on his record. And you know that. I'm telling you things you already know. Okay, so let's get into two situations that required fact-checking. And you can't do that if you're a moderator on the scene. You just can't, particularly when one of the moderators, Megyn Kelly, was lobbying an accusation against Governor Christie that he was soft on trans students. Roll the tape.
You talk about parental rights. Let's talk about them. When you were governor in 2017, you signed a law that required new guidelines for schools dealing with transgender students. Those guidelines required schools to accept a child's preferred gender identity, even if the minor's parents objected.
Not true.
And it said that there is no duty for schools to notify parents if their son or daughter changes their gender identity, allowing this serious issue to remain a secret between the school and a child. How is any of that pro-parental rights?
By the way, that's simply not true.
You're doing what you accuse me of, Chris. It is absolutely true.
That's simply not true.
Okay, we can't find anything in that law. Christie signed the law. It's NJS 3067, and it requires the state's education commissioner to develop guidelines for school districts on how to deal with issues facing transgender students. That's the law. We can't find anything that Christie was involved with in New Jersey that says that schools have to accept a student's preferred gender. We can't find that, all right? And the school has to keep secret what that preferred gender would be. Maybe it exists. I can't find it. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.